what's going to happen in China? A revolution, democratic change. I heard somewhere that there's been a little bit of rise in tensions against the emperor, president, etc. Not emperor, president.
China is the stronghold for the world in some ways. So what will there be revolution this year? It feels like there's pockets of uprising, but not a total overturning, but there is a lot of this like revolution energy. And I'm saying it can be internal. It doesn't mean you have to like go, let me be clear. You don't have to like go fight someone literally,
Right.
but it's that energy is really rising on the planet. And it will continue this year. It feels like this is the year. I'm hearing it's called the big battle. And it will be it's intense, but it's where like humans are prepared. And I'm also hearing David and Goliath, like remember that story and how, you know, we didn't know in that story, or we weren't sure how David would defeat Goliath, and how people like didn't give him any credit, but that he did, right? And how did he do that? And so to revisit that story for some people,
A rock in China and Xi Jinping's eye, big old boulder.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's really going to happen through our energy, through our ideas, through grassroots, through community, through ways that are unexpected, and through opening our hearts. Keep in mind, this is interesting to me, but he says in the next like year or two, there will be instances where we find ourselves in rooms with other people that we might have in the past thought I would never hang out with somebody like that.
Wow.
But there's this opportunity for healing because we're coming together from this common place as humans. So kind of interesting.
Interesting. Will we ever start moving our supply chains back from China to the US or other places like Vietnam and India, so that
yes,
that's good?
Absolutely. And that's going to be happening over the next 5 years. Okay. But it's like also, this is interesting what he's saying. It's out of necessity in some ways, because we will, some of that rocky point ahead, I'm not saying we'll still have access to food and all of that, but the prices may go up. People may just be like, you know what, why don't I start a garden and see what happens? Like this is like a $5 carrot or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it feels like things begin to shift because of the necessity of them to shift. Okay. And you know, what I'm seeing is that things become much more local, much more moving in that direction. By 2030, I know we're not going that far, but that feels like where we're going.
Okay, supply chain crisis. What's going to happen there? Is that going to be resolved this year?
No, not necessarily. There's still, it's going to be tricky throughout the whole year.
Okay.
So
what about the open border?
Also a problem. Okay.
That's not going to get better in 2023.
22,
right? Yeah.
That may improve. The supply chain still feels tricky. I can speak because I drive along PCH a lot, and I see all the ships just sitting out there.
Oh God! Oh,
it's intense. I'm like, oh man. So yeah.
All right. We'll you know, I feel like we have a two-tiered justice system. Will that get better? And will the media lose its bias?
Okay, so just start with the justice system.
Yeah.
We are on the precipice, he calls it, of these really big changes. So we might not, it's like, it's changed, it's better. And he's all, you know, he wants people to understand that better in some ways is like through our energy and our way we want to see the world.
Yes.
So one of the
exactly.
things, and there's a larger point here, but one of the things that's important to remember is that we individually have an impact on the world. That is so important
That's
for
true.
everybody to hear. So, because, we'll be like pouring because like my kid poured cereal all over the floor this week, and I was just
I
like,
know, I remember that.
I know, we were texting, and I was
Uh.
like, I gotta get her to school, and we forget that we are impacting. So it's like asking ourselves, what can we do to improve the two-tiered system? Meaning, he's saying, like, go local. That's the way we can have some impact.
What do you mean? Like run for local office? Things like that?
Either run for local office or get involved in a local
Okay.
way. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It feels like humans coming together on the local level is the way that things start to actually shift.
Okay.
Because we're more empowered. Does that make sense? Because we
Yes.
have a way in which we can see the direct result of our energy.
With
flow.
the Virginia or West Virginia, whatever, that election with Glenn Youngkin beating
Mhm.
out the other guy. What
Mhm.
about the media and their bias toward conservatives? Will that ever end or change in any way this year?
It's yeah, it feels like the head of the octopus has like all these tentacles,
Yeah.
and that's the image I'm seeing, and it's not a positive octopus. It's not like a good one,
Fuzzy, fuzzy, warm.
Yeah, no, it's pretty negative, but the head is beginning to be cut off. That's
By
interesting.
policy, legislation.
Not anything that we're witnessing. It feels like there's like I don't understand this totally, but there's other operations that are beginning to take the power away from incorrect media or corrupt media. The effects of this were in the big battle that's this year. So watch what you're doing with your energy as much as you can. When you feel low, when you dip, when you get depressed, do something to try to get yourself out of it, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
If it's just like, I'm gonna go for a walk,
Right.
Exactly. Because we're in this like really, it's difficult, but it's so important this year. This year is very, very important. So anyway, it's to remember that we are going to be creating the new world now.
Good. What about
Yeah.
big tech and their bias against social media? They're biased. Well, that's part of big tech against.
It
from one
feels
side
like
to the other.
some people will decide to go along with the policies of, I'm seeing the what's the new Facebook called?
No.
It's something, it's
Yeah.
Meta, is that right? Meta, yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
hearing. Some people choose to go along with the nefarious like the nefarious aspects of this, but actually some of what it's doing is the amount of pushing down on people is causing a lot of people to just be like, wait, that doesn't feel right.
This whole theme of revolt is revolt against the chaos and the subversion and the bias. That's good. All right.
One other thing he wants to mention though, remember people like Gandhi. Remember how they protested, right? There is an understanding of universal principles and the law that sometimes it's just observing what's happening. You don't have to make any sudden moves. You don't have to go hit somebody or, nothing violent, but you pay attention to your energy. What kind of world do I want to live in? What kind of world do I want to create? What am I here to do? And that is speeding up February on. So if this month feels quiet or like you're just resting or you're getting over something, because there's a lot of that clearing. A lot of people are, we know what that, right.
Be the
Right.
change you want to see in the world, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna, is the American, or I guess the world, socio-political trend gonna be changed? I mean, right now it's so much divisiveness. Will we move toward civility, national healing, mutual civility this year? Mutual
Not
respect?
this year, no, but
Okay.
we will move toward it as we heal ourselves.
Okay, yes.
So, mhm.
What is the one positive change that we will have going for us in 2022? I just have a few more. Is it okay if we go like 5 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. Totally fine. One positive change. People begin to open their hearts this year. This year, we may see some things that we do not maybe on a collective level agree with,
Right.
such as some mandates, things like that. We may see some of those overturned, but the larger thing, the larger, more important thing that's going to be like the foundation for the world, the new world that we're living in. I mean, it's just the energy is really beautiful, but the
Oh, good.
foundation, it's like is being laid, is that people open their hearts. And sometimes he says, no pain, no gain. So if we have to do it through pain a little bit, then so be it.
It'll be worth it when we get to the other side, I'm sure. For those of us in the 50 to 70 age bracket, will we be lucky enough to witness many of the new earth changes in the remainder of our lifetimes?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good. Okay, just real quickly, Eric, can you give us one negative change that we will have going on in 2022?
Inflation.
Okay. Is there anything that is super significant that has not been experienced in a long time or ever that's going to occur in 2022?
Quantum leaps in possibility. And okay, I can't joke around right now. I gotta get through this. Quantum leaps in possibility and our ability to be like create really creative things, really creative paths. Like this is the moment, maybe not this month, but when things like just kind of be asking yourself this month, what do I need to let go of? What needs to go?
Right.
Okay, maybe then we'll get to what the positive change. Maybe that's like, I literally need to go clear out my house. I need to get rid of stuff. Or maybe that's, I need to get rid of this pattern of behavior, whatever it is, this is the moment, this is the month to let it go. Now, a lot of things are still going to come up for healing, but like also asking yourself simultaneously, you might be in this deep healing phase, but you also may be in a phase where it's like, if I could do what I want with my life, if I could do what I came here to do, what does that look like? And just kind of allow yourself to vision, because we can create things really fast this year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is totally awesome.
What is going to be the most innovative creation of 2022?
It feels innovative creation. It feels like new ways of doing business. It does feel like new types of currency, like maybe, we have crypto, all of that, but there's even something else that's, I don't get it. I don't totally understand this. Sorry. But it feels like there's like a new type of either crypto or something that's a little bit different that's created.
Okay.
And there's lots of ideas being born right now. Well, also, just as a warning, if you don't want to have a baby right now, you got to be careful, because there's a lot of like star kids and indigo children wanting to come to the planet to really shift the energy. So just saying, cool. So being aware.
All right, some Finnish psychics predict light will come soon from Finland and spread around the world. Is this true? And is it true? Let's start with that.
Finnish psychic says light will come from Finland all around the world.
Spread around the world.
You know, I never have heard of this, but as I'm tuning in, it does feel like something kind of some energy broadcast from Finland. So that's really
Why
interesting.
from Finland, and what is the special?
There's a star, it's related. So there's Stargate openings happening all
Ooh.
over right now. And
Oh.
there is access to higher, and this is one of the reasons why Eric is saying to get quiet and imagine, because humans, because of the increase in their frequency and their consciousness, we can access energies that we honestly have almost never been able to before. So just getting quiet and there's something to do with stargates.
Oh, well, is there a specialty of this kind of light that's coming in?
Yes, it feels, what I'm hearing the words is pure photonic light, and it is causing significant upgrades. And it feels like a lot of negative structures are being cleared right now by people there's some people on the planet that are working on this project very directly, and they're working with particular groups of star beings at the moment. So we've got some humans, like a particular important group of humans, and they're working with Vesuvians, Andromedans, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Lyrantielines.
Are these humans, or are they alien? Are they human hybrids we're talking about?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a huge cleanup project happening. And so we may feel the effects of that. And we have access to higher dimensional energies as a result. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Just real quick, yes or no? Will the US see nationwide blackouts or loss of internet because of a cyber attack? Big one.
It's hard to say yes or no exactly, but since you said like 60% no, 40% yes.
Okay.
That's the best way I can do it.
Well, extraterrestrials showed themselves in more obvious ways this year.
I hear the words, they're already very obvious if you pay attention.
Okay. But any changes in their visibility?
Yes. And some of this, we think that it's one of the misunderstandings or misperceptions for some humans is that we think we just will be able to see them. Everybody will be able to see them. Some people will be able to perceive more ETs based on their frequency. Like if they're at a higher dimensional level, at a higher dimensional frequency, I'm not saying good or bad or this or that, right? But it just, as you do the work to heal yourself, let go of stuff that doesn't belong anymore, because you can't take it with you. Yeah. Your frequency automatically, elevates, and you might be able to, you'll have more access to star beings. Cool. Yeah.
Any medical breakthroughs, like for autism, Alzheimer's, diabetes, anything for this?
Yes, it feels like there are some medical breakthroughs, but one of the things that first has to happen is like the breakdown of the kind of like tyrannical stuff going on. Yeah.
I mean, there's good pharma too. Okay,
of course, there's life-saving, but there's also some, you know what we're saying here. Yeah.
Any particular diseases that will have a medical breakthrough?
It does feel like there's some more. It's so interesting when you ask this question. I see a lot of things happening, but it's almost like they're sort of like low key or a little underground until, not literally, but you know what I mean, figuratively speaking, until it's like discoveries are made, but they're not, it's almost like it takes a little bit of time for the complete rollout, if that makes sense.
Before it's broad knowledge.
Yeah, but there's a lot of really interesting innovation, because again, we're having access to other dimensions, other realms in ways that we've never had before.
Cool.
Human multidimensionality is going online strongly this year. So if you find yourself like with these innovative ideas, write them down, pay attention. You're being given some information.
Cool.
And so what he's saying is like a lot of people are having discovery. They're discovering things. It's almost like they're receiving, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. They're
Yeah.
uploading to them, getting it uploaded, downloaded to them, whatever. So let's list some diseases. Yes or no? Well, broad access and rollout. Autism.
Some innovations, but not on a broad scale.
Okay, just say if it's going to be a broad scale, Eric.
Okay.
Alzheimer's.
Yes, there's something that happens with like a particular medicine.
Ooh,
Okay,
good.
yes.
Parkinson's.
No.
Diabetes type 1.
No.
Okay. Will smart beds, medical beds, start to be used, the ones that have alien technology, ET technology, what do you want to call it, be used for the general public?
23.
Okay.
Or 23 to 24.
All right. What about
Yeah.
scalar energy? You know, guys, I'm going to do a thing on it, but one person I did for free a complete cardiovascular overhaul. She had blocked coronary vessels, and stuff like that, and some scars on the heart muscle because of previous heart attacks. Anyway, she got news from her doctor that there are no blockages and there are no scars anymore. So what about scalar healing? Will that become?
That feels like it's increasing. It does. Also the knowledge and again, it's innovation energy. It's beginning to understand. The question is like, why are we in this health crisis? That's a larger question that humans are going to begin to ask themselves. What do I need to do to invest in my own health?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
energy is a huge component.
Yeah, healing from Courtney.
Right. What are we eating? You know,
yes,
like
that's the hard one.
It is a hard one, but it is important. You know, what are we eating? What is our body in alignment with the natural world? You know, are we walking outside?
Yeah,
simple
stuff. All right, exercise, etc. Last two questions. What will be the most important spiritual lesson Earthlings will learn in 2022? That's a good one. They're all good.
That we are creators, and there's many humans who are going to open their hearts, and not in like he's showing me like a Hallmark card, not in like a Hallmark, cheesy way, but really allowing your light to shine, allowing your light to shine. Because it's like, it's wild card 2022. It's wild card. It's wild energy. So it's, in a way, it's like all bets are off. You might as well just be yourself. Do you know what I mean?
But that's so important. And that takes really understanding who you are. And that, of course, takes self-reflection and other things, but also being okay with being vulnerable, having an open heart. Don't be afraid you're going to get hurt.
Hurt or misunderstood.
Misunderstood, yeah.
Because misunderstood is a big one. There's going to be people that are still in the old way right now. You don't need to make them happy. So
no, it's not your responsibility. No, absolutely. So be you and own it. Last question. If Eric could give us one piece of advice for 2022, what would it be? I'm sure it's going to be along the same lines of what we've been just talking about.
Don't be afraid of unexpected change. Remember who you are. Dive into yourself. That is the most important thing.
Yeah. Heal
yourself. So many people are going to have, and it's not, just so you know, he wants to mention, there's another side to this. We kind of feel like we've been told, through Eric and he knows, for a long time, about healing yourself and doing all your work and blah, blah, blah. And some people are just like, okay, enough already. Am I going to ever feel better? Right. But it feels like there's so much, there's just this wild energy that there's so much opportunity to clear quickly that you actually can get to a place where you do feel better this year. You feel like
Yeah.
more like yourself. So it's actually a really
That's
beautiful
awesome.
opportunity. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Eric. I love you. I love you, Courtney. You guys check her out. Awesome medium, awesome channel.
Thank you.
Awesome healer, medical intuitive, etc. Y'all can check her out at CourtneyDillon.com. And I'm going to stop, but then can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll pause. We'll stop the recording. And also subscribe, guys. Hit the notification button and like this video, please. Also share.